يلا فهم.
Okay, it's a problem to eliminate all carry-on devices in an enterprise level. So the solution is to provide communication terminals embedded in the environment. And for the requirements, we need to have high-quality communications and the peer-to-peer connections. Also, the system should be reliable and stable.
So for a company like in Aramco, how you are going to deploy this solution in Aramco? Let's say in the IT department in Aramco, where you want to eliminate all the devices. Can you tell us
We
how
can
you...
build these two communications in the IT department, and we install our server. Also, we need to install tracking nodes, the cameras that track people and update their locations information.
So you need to
the
install
database.
cameras, new cameras, you need to deploy new cameras.
New cameras,
Okay.
new communication devices.
What are these communication devices?
It's a
Like,
touch screen
okay,
with a camera, microphone, and a speaker.
okay. And the promise is basically nobody needs to come to work with his own phone.
Exactly.
Basically, they can do all the communication
In the terminals.
devicelessly.
Exactly.
Have you thought about ways to, reduce the costs of these nodes? I mean, you were saying you have a tablet-like device that has a camera. Exactly what are we? I mean, what is this? What exactly are these devices?
We will provide you with a small computer,
Okay.
which is called mini box or mini computer. This computer will have an OS installed in it, browser, and the packages we use, for example, WebRTC and Node.js. And the enterprise will connect to this computer, terminals, screens, cameras, and IO devices. So what we will provide you with is the computer.
So we still have to create a computer?
Yes?
Do I still have to create a computer?
Yes. But it's a small computer, not expensive. For example, it's for 100.
No, he's saying more about the privacy. I think you're concerned more.
No, I was thinking because you said it's embedded in the enterprise. So I'm thinking I'll walk around and the wall would have like touch screens where I could talk to a person. This is what I'm imagining. I'm imagining
It's a
something.
small computer,
Yeah,
with a screen.
But
I should
hang it.
Yeah, but I shouldn't be carrying it. It's
Yeah,
just,
but
should
nobody's carrying it.
Yeah, nobody's carrying
I
it.
just go to a terminal, it would recognize me, I'll be able to
Okay, so
communicate
yes.
and move away.
So what if I'm concerned for my security? I don't want my boss to track where I'm going. So
That's
can
a
I-
disadvantage, but
That's a behavioral.
Can I choose a point where, like for example, somebody's looking for me and if they're gonna message this person elected not to have.
We're not allowed for nothing.
No,
It's
actually,
just for work calls and text for you. We are not using it for.
I know, but still, it's just an uncomfortable thing to have to feel that you're being watched all the time, even
No.
if it was just a computer.
yeah, but the thing is that we need to protect the privacy of the company, so we want to eliminate like non-work-related communications. So you're supposed to use these communication
This is
devices
slavery, my
to do work-related
So you're saying
communications.
if I work in a sensitive
That,
area,
that's the
sensitive
trend now,
information,
believe me.
Yeah.
I walk in device free
Yeah.
and I'm able to do all my work.
We already are in
or
place.
your
You
communications.
drank 3 cups of
Right.
coffee today.
Yeah.
Why?
So you can do text, video conferencing, and call.
But can you explain the setup for us and maybe give
Yes,
us
can you have a demo, please?
small demo?
Yeah, sure.
Quick demo, just do.
It's just the whole idea is very nice. I like it, but I just don't like the monitoring. This is what makes me feel a little bit uneasy.
Actually, you're
Do you
being
track- do you
monitored by Google, by all services.
He doesn't know.
But do you
Yeah,
track?
now he knows.
Do you track the employees inside the company? Do you track them like he's now in this room and he's moving to that room?
using the cameras, and then we recognize the
يعني
faces.
هداهم يعني.
And you can actually provide, it's all about big data now. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what you're trying to show us here?
so we have 2 rooms. This is room 0, and the second room is the first room, room 1. Sorry. And this phone will emulate the tracking node. I will take a picture of me. And now the server will be updated my new location, which is room 0. Can you check it, Ray?
How does it know the room?
Yes, it's
How is it sent?
By this
by the device itself.
this camera is named for room 0.
That means
Every room has ID.
So,
Assuming the camera will be
Yeah.
that room as soon as he
the
enters.
skill.
so the face detection algorithm is what? Is this like open source software? Is this something you did on your own? I mean,
It's an open source.
oh, so
Which is OpenCV library.
and how quick? I mean, so
Yes.
the premise here that this would work based on cameras. Let's say that this building has 100 cameras, or let's not say 100, let's say maybe 10 cameras. The idea this would only work if the cameras can pick your face.
Yes.
But no camera, will work. I mean, if you're not staring directly at it.
That's the problem that we consider. So what we come up with is that we put cameras in different angles, so we can detect the face, the person is watching down
In the
or
training
up.
also we can.
So my question is, why did you use a camera? Why is
The
that
most
just
convenient.
use an ID? These access IDs.
Actually, face recognition is if you use like biometrics or anything, you need to be active. You have to do an action, right? But face recognition is.
But it doesn't have to be
not
biometric. It can be just regular access. If there's a
So like
reader here, and I enter this room, you should be able to tell. the
Actually,
person.
this is built on Omni-presence, one which eliminate all.
Then I can leave this card in my
Yes.
office and
This is
problem
what.
solved.
But what we needed to do is to like identify you by yourself. I mean, you don't need to carry anything. In this case, you need to carry your card, right?
Yes.
But you don't.
How
You,
can
you
I-
can't leave your face.
How much time does it take to recognize an image? I just come back to some question.
It doesn't take that much time.
Yeah, but
Most
that's
of us
under
roughly-
optimal conditions. And my question is, how often do we have optimal conditions? I mean,
And it's not only this, and I'm seriously talking about real life here. So if you work in organizations where women are working, they look different every day. Sorry.
Yes, that would be a challenge.
So with niqab,
When you enter a room, you will not leave it
Work in
within a
Arco,
second.
work in
Oh,
one of
two
the other
seconds.
companies. Women don't wear makeup. One day she has makeup on, one day different type of makeup.
I feel this
Your
project.
your device will have redundant profiles.
Sami, sorry for interrupting you. You know, in Microsoft built the latest conference. Actually, they announced a similar service. If you have watched the video, you sent us the short brief description. But in fact, they have this service deployed on their cloud, where basically they recognize people in the work environment, and they are reporting if somebody is showing up in a place where he's not supposed to be, or he's using a device that he's not trained to use.
Yeah, but this still, as Sami stated, this requires them to be in front of the camera for a while. So if you're saying use a device and you're not using it, you're probably staring at it.
Actually,
No,
If you're entering a room, you're probably
Actually, one of the demo, the guy who was in the demo, he had to stare at the camera. Otherwise, there was like.
no, let me just clarify one thing. The tracking node takes continuous, like a video, and send continuous array of pictures to the server, and the recognition process happens on the server, so not in the tracking node. So we're taking like an array of pictures, continuous.
That is gonna kill the network.
Yeah,
It will simply
Because you're
only
sending,
face.
you're sending continuous stream of videos that is, I mean, let's forget about the processing requirements. I mean, I guess we have those. But are you expecting that we have infinite bandwidth?
No,
all the
but,
time? Because you're sending pictures.
we do pre-processing on the pictures, so they're not very large. So,
So
we get
The detection, it's not happening on the processing node. It's happening on.
No, the detection happens on the
On the-
processing node.
Sorry, it's not happening on the camera node, for example.
The detection?
Yes, I mean, you
No,
said
the
that you're
detection-
sending the pictures to a server, and that
To-
server is doing all the
For the
processing.
recognition. So we have two separate tasks. One is the recognition, and the other is the detection. So the detection happens with the tracking node, where whenever you detect a face, you send a message. You send a picture with the picture pre-processed. So
Okay.
in our example, we cut it 250 by 250 with a grayscale.
We use the raster.
Yeah, with a grayscale, then send it to the server.
So my next question is, if I leave the room,
Okay.
or if, I stare at the camera, it takes a picture of me, and then I look away, does it log me off? Or does it wait until I get to the other room and then log me into the other room and out of the first room? How does that work?
It should be whenever you leave the communication terminal, you'll be logged out.
So if
But
if I turn around,
no, there will be a timeout, of course. So when it's not detecting a face, it will wait like for 2 seconds, then it will log you out. But you should be. The recognition does not take that much. So it's not like typing a password. So it's not a heavy thing to do.
How do you make money? Like if you are going to sell this product?
You want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Afa?
He's our business guy.
Go ahead.
Okay, we can sell the system, and as we said, the system come up with the computers, software tools like the face recognition, and you sell it.
So basically, you're getting all the equipment from a third party, and you're just developing the software, and you're selling the service.
Exactly.
So it's a contracting business then, basically.
Yeah, but we're providing the full solution. So we have some hardware that we should some minimum hardware that we need to use in our system.
But
So
you will
some
make money
of-
one time. I mean, you basically install the product and then you just walk away. You cannot make money unless you are upgrading the system.
No, actually the server is ours and the software is ours. So we need to
How do you make money out of these services?
Continuously. So we're
Right.
providing the service along with the hardware. So the hardware is one time, like you pay us one time, but the server, the updates, the software is ours.
But you don't have different tiers or plans where you have the first time he sign up or the first time after you install the system and then he can upgrade?
We may introduce that, but for the
Then
time
you're
being,
making
we have-
money only once.
No, we're providing the servers.
Okay.
So the servers are ours. We have customized software.
because
So you can't come
provide
up
the
with-
server, then there's the overhead of upgrading these servers every once in a while, and you'll take that burden on your shoulder. The best thing to do
is to sell the server
No,
and
it's
to
not
sell
the
the
server.
software.
You give the enterprise a yearly licensing fee. So every year, if they need to want to keep this service, they have to pay you X amount of money. That's the best way to do it. And you sell it to the company and tell them you'll know where your employees are, and you make sure that they're efficient. And you sell it to the employees that they don't need to carry device with them.
That's much better. Yeah, we don't need to.
But if you don't have any further question, we can move on to the
I mean,
next one.
in detection, have you explored other detection mechanisms other than, why do you choose face detection, for example?
You mean a specific algorithm, the one that they're using right now?
For example, they chose a face detection using a camera. I'm sure it has lots of pros, but my main gripe with it is, it's just
It's
too.
inefficient.
It's but the issue is like, it seems like assuming that if you put extra cameras that will detect from different angle. I don't think that's enough.
If I were to do this,
For example, voice recognition, in addition to voice. I don't know. I'm not sure
Like a
if that will
secondary
work.
way of doing it.
For example, I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm just not convinced that putting cameras on the wall is an efficient way of tracking people.
I agree.
I just don't know.
Without-
I mean, I like what was done. I like that you had a full system working. But this assumption, I'm not sure, I'm convinced is actually going to work.
So just if I were to comment. Okay, so you said you're talking about the card. So in any enterprise now, you cannot walk around without showing an ID, especially if you have a lot of employees. Okay, so what I would have done is to track the location of employees in the card. Again, each door or each office would have detectors, and we have detectors in my company that will detect at least a couple of meters away from the sensor itself. And then I would have the screens on the wall, and the screen would have a and I would combine it with camera detection. So if I want to talk to Sami, I would come to this screen. It will recognize that it's me, and then it will look. I would say I want to talk to Sami. It would look for Sami, and it will look at Sami through his card, not through his face. That's what I would do.
I can actually, by the way, I have a picture of his face in my phone, and I can fake him. I mean, I just showed his face on the phone. I mean, how is your face detection mechanism?
Okay, I see.
So
Just like the S8, the
think about
S8,
security.
yeah, faking. You heard about the story with the S8. One guy was able to fake. He was able to unlock the phone using a faked image of another guy.
With the retina detection.
Although Samsung was in their
Yes,
when they were marketing the product, they were saying that nobody can do that. So maybe they're referring to something similar. How you're going to counteract these attempts?
So I believe that our communications happen real time, right? So if you can fake it,
Yeah, but
then,
no, but at the same time, you're saying to me, I am able to tell that Khalid is in building 22.
yeah.
Okay, when Khalid is probably in Maldives.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I just showed the picture of Khalid from my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
That can be
So then,
So then you're gonna initiate communication with this guy who's
That's-
having
yeah, but-
Khalid's picture.
What you're advising is a multi-tier security problem. So these things can be avoided. Because you give so much
Yeah,
access.
I'm not trying to put it down. I mean, I like what was done. I mean, I'm just saying that there are small issues that needs to be taken care of. Yes.
But sorry to interrupt you, but now the trend is this. I mean, even in airports, where I mean, in some countries you go and they do iris recognition, fingerprint recognition, face recognition. Some airports that's done.
Yeah, but
So-
I don't think they rely on one system. They do several.
And they do that well. Once
That's
every
fine,
3
but
years.
biometrics is the trend now. People have less tendency of using cards with them and so on. And I mean, you lose your card, you forget it, someone takes it, and then he can get anywhere in the premises of.
Enterprises, though, you still have to carry a card.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But think of the future. I mean, that's the beginning
It's just
of
a
something.
combination.
Yeah.
Do you really think the future is going to involve people not walking around with their smartphones?
maybe.
Maybe bracelets.
Ah.
Okay, we
You-
have to
you
really
never
move
know.
on because